This is an emergency podcast system edition of Rumble with Michael Moore. I'm Michael Moore, and my friends, just minutes ago, the state of Kansas, one of the reddest states in this country, a state that Trump won by a margin of almost 60% to 40% over Biden. This state of Kansas has just voted tonight to support abortion rights and to keep the right to abortion in their state constitution.
Toto, I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
60% to 40% of people in Kansas voted to keep abortion legal and available to all women. Nobody saw this coming.
We must be over the rainbow.
This is an amazing thing, but I have to say, and I think we talked about this after the Supreme Court decision a couple of months ago, when that male majority, that Catholic majority on the Supreme Court voted to institute a religious edict on the American people, claiming that life, human life, began when a sperm fertilized an egg. That's a human being. That's what they ruled. And they took away the rights of the majority gender of this country and said, you will not decide what you could do with your body. We, the government, will decide, and we will force you to give birth should you become pregnant. And tonight, in the middle of the country, in the Republican state of Kansas, the people stood in line in a way that they had not done in an off-year election. Nobody can remember when. The average number of Kansas citizens that show up to an election, in an off-year election like this year, in a primary, this isn't even the general election, that's in November, or Rovember, as I'm calling it. We're all calling it Rovember from now on, because we are on a march to November. Only 36% usually show up at the Kansas primary in the summer of an off-year election. Over 50% showed up today. Showed up, stood in line to tell the Supreme Court where they could go. They don't know what to do with it right now. I'm watching this on TV. The commentators, they're so befuddled. And because they really wanted, the story tonight was going to be whether or not those Republicans who voted for Trump's impeachment, would they get reelected? That was the story they were going into tonight. They still can't get off the story. But we don't have many women anchors. There's certainly very few women commentators here, so I get it. Okay, they've got their script, but here's my script, and this is why I wanted to get this out to you right away. We've had a huge victory tonight. The majority of the American people are with us. The majority, and I don't mean a small majority, a landslide majority in the state of Kansas are with us tonight, and they will be with us in Rovember. We have the chance, my friends, to really take a stand against those who are the enemies of women's rights, the enemies of our democracy, the enemies of those who want to save planet Earth. They are going down. They're going to go down in November, and we are going to be responsible for that, because we are not only all ourselves going to show up to vote, we're going to bring 10 people each with us to vote. They have no idea what they've done. For this number to be this high in Kansas, at 60% plus of people who voted in favor of abortion rights, that means so many Republicans had to have voted for this today. That means people who themselves personally are against abortion, who personally wouldn't have an abortion, they voted in Kansas to keep abortion legal and available to all. This is just a stunning moment. And I want all of you, I know This has been a tough time. 4 years of Trump, then this last year and a half since the January 6th rebellion, and all the evil things that the Supreme Court has done, from taking rights away from women to killing New York's gun control law to gutting the Environmental Protection Agency, and on and on and on. And every time we hear this and we see it, we turn the news off. We can't take it anymore. It never seems to get better. The Democrats are weak. They won't get rid of the filibuster. They won't do what the people want them to do. And so the people in Kansas today just showed up and told them what to do. They made it the law in Kansas. They maintain that the state constitution in Kansas should continue to have legal abortion. Right now, at this very moment, Justice Alito and his cohorts who did this on the Supreme Court, Republican leaders all over the country, Trump himself and all his Trumpsters, they don't know what to do because they have not understood one basic fact, and it's why he lost and why Biden is president. And that's because the vast majority of Americans believe that abortion is a human right. The vast majority of Americans believe we need stronger gun control laws. The vast majority of Americans believe that our planet is in serious trouble regarding what's going on with our environment. They don't understand that the vast majority, pick the subject, the vast majority of Americans want a huge raise in the minimum wage. They want a living wage. The vast majority of Americans believe healthcare should be free for all Americans. The vast majority of Americans believe that college should be free, that there should be, when you have a baby, there should be a leave, a paid leave for women and men. That's the country we live in. That's who we are. And this country is, what is going to happen in the next 3 months? And let me just make this clear. It won't happen on its own. There are no guarantees. There's no spiking the football here on the 1 yard line. Think that, oh, we've got it made now. We never have it made. You know that. I don't have to tell you that. It sucks most of the time because we, the people, are never listened to. The politicians don't stand up for us, including the ones that we vote for. So we know this feeling of despair. It's never going to get better. There's no way for us to win. The billionaires control this country. They buy the politicians. And then suddenly something like this happens. And we're reminded that even though our democracy is still hanging on by a thread, we, the people, still barely are in charge. And we are going to have our say come November the 8th. Make a plan right now, my friends, to do whatever you can do in these 3 months. Call whatever local group is organizing. Let's get the vote out. Call in right now to whoever at work. Call in for a day off, a vacation day, whatever day on November 7th or 8th, the day of the election, the day before, the weekend before. All of us knocking on doors, all of us making phone calls, all of us guaranteeing and getting everybody we know to show up, to vote, to take our country back. We are the majority. Why should we even have to take it back? It's ours. The vast, vast majority of our fellow Americans agree with us on nearly every single issue. Now is our moment. Now is our time. People of Kansas, I can't thank you enough for what you've done to lift our spirits and to send us forward in making sure that these Republicans, the 147 of them who on January 6, 2021, voted to not accept the legal results of the 2020 election, voted in Congress to stop Joe Biden from taking office. These people are traitors. And as much as whatever bullshit they've fed us over the years about, oh, they're all for America, they're all for law and order, as they beat the police there on the Capitol steps, these liars, as they voted down last week the bill to help the veterans who are suffering with health problems. This is pure evil, my friends, and you know it, and I know it. And while some of them are family members and some of them are neighbors, they have to be stopped. Just like you have to stop any bully, just like you have to stop anybody who's out of control and is going to do damage to others and to themselves. And this is our job between now and November the 8th. Let's do it. Let's all be from Kansas tonight. Thank you, my friends. We've got work ahead of us. Enough talk. This is Michael Moore, and this is Rumble. Thank you for tuning into this emergency podcast system edition of my podcast.
Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come